from us. Different, not in word, but in spirit and in content. We have taken utmost care to facilitate a budget which is clearly pro-people and pro-poor. Sir, as stated earlier, the focus of this budget is the overall betterment and welfare of the people, for which efficient and optimal utilization of resources is mandatory. I want to confidently state that our government is fully prepared to support and facilitate the economic and social foundation reset. The budget provides every opportunity to raise and capture the pace that needs for sustainable growth. We aim to provide towards peaceful prosperity by protecting the most vulnerable people from the impact of pandemic and bringing about sustainable socio-economic and infrastructure and human resource development. Mr. Speaker, I want to say with great regret that the actual transfers from the federal government to the government of Sindh in the fiscal year always fall short of the estimate provided. As FPR falls short in collection of its targets, the federal government is the major contributor to Sindh finances comprising 72.5% in its entirety. It is a fact that the shares inevitably fall short of the estimates we are provided every year. As a result, our development expenditure has to be adjusted to offset the effect. However, it is our desire to work in close coordination with the federal government in the larger interest of the people of Pakistan to overcome these issues. We thus expect that the federal government would also support us in our endeavors and help to come with viable solutions to issues faced by Sindh. Sir, I'll just tell you that out of the total transfers promised of 760 billion, we've actually received 613 billion to date, and we are still short of 147 billion rupees. The federal government, as always, has failed to deliver to the people of Pakistan, and the figures speak for themselves. Mr. Speaker, before I commence revised estimates of 2020-21, I want to make a moment to acknowledge how isolating and distancing seemed like unsurmountable challenges for a country like ours that has people coming together in times of crisis. It hurt us in many ways. I bow my head in respect of every citizen for the endurance shown in facing what was undeniably a tough year. For all our physical and mental well-being, having said that, we are all reminded and again that the fight against COVID-19 continues in 2020-21. Sir, I salute the frontline workers, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, technicians, our law enforcement agencies, the administration, and our media workers who have risked their lives to protect us. With your permission, sir, let me now present before the August House the fiscal performance of the government during the current financial year. Against an estimated budgetary amount of rupees 1073.7 billion, the revised estimate of the province for current financial year 2020-21 stands at rupees 960.4 billion. As mentioned earlier, we are facing shortfall on account of federal transfers. During 11 months of this financial year, against initial budgeted receipts of 760 billion, we have only received rupees 613 billion, leaving a shortfall of 147 billion which the federal government has to deliver in the month of June, and I can say that as always they will fail in delivering to the people of Pakistan. The provincial tax received are not fees is revised to 242.9 billion against an estimated 313.4 billion. On the expenditure side, budget has been revised from 968.99 billion to rupees 954.4 billion. The annual development expenditure is revised down from 160.3 billion to 160.3 billion from 232 billion rupees. There has been a severe financial crunch due to reduced resources from federal government and low collection from provincial resources due to COVID. Provincial ADP, which was 228 billion in year 2019-20, was reduced to 170 billion in 2020-21. The revised estimates of current ADB will be about 113 billion. Despite various constraints, stakeholders' departments are likely to complete 460 schemes during 2020-21. By the end of current financial year, we will be able to spend 80% of the development budget, that is 15% higher than last year's financial year. It reflects on a growing capacity and a rational financial management. So for the next financial year 2021, we are estimating a total budget of 1,452 billion rupees as against budget estimates of 1.22 trillion for current financial year. This is an overall increase of 19%. Receipts from federal government on account of revenue assignments, trade transfers and grants are estimated at rupees 869.68 billion, which constitute 72.5% of total receipts of the province. It is an increase of 12.6% over estimate of 760.3 billion in the last year. However, the budget estimates of trade transfers for next financial year have decreased substantially by approximately 20.6% to rupees 49.5 billion from the budget estimate of 62.34 billion in the current financial year. Receipts on federal PSDP are 5.37 billion, which is a miserable figure as compared to 27.5 billion in 2017-18 before the advent of this current government. So the foreign project assistance is estimated at rupees 71 billion. Received from provincial owned resources, accounts of tax and non-tax receipts are estimated at rupees 329 billion, which constitute 27.5% of the total receipt. This is an increase of 4.8% over estimates of 313.4 billion in the current financial year. So the total budget outlay for financial year 2020-21 is estimated at rupees 1,477 billion as against budget estimates of 1,241 billion in the current financial year. This shows an overall increase of 19%. The current expenditure of province is projected as rupees 1.14 trillion, which includes current revenue expenditures of 1.089 trillion and current expenditure of rupees 59.49 billion. So the development expenditure of the province is estimated at rupees 329 billion, which includes rupees 222.5 billion of provincial ADP, rupees 30 billion for district ADP, foreign project assistance of 71 billion, and a paltry 5.4 billion of federal PSDP grants, the lowest ever in the foreseeable past. In financial year 2021-22, we contemplate to complete 1,033 schemes and maximum resources have been provided for those. All schemes with a throw forward of less than 100 million have been given full allocation. In addition, all schemes where 70% expenditure has been made have been given full allocation, and in this way, we will inshallah strive to complete the highest ever number of schemes in any financial year, 1,033 in the next financial year. So keeping in view the non-development development expenditure priorities, the major milestones of our objectives are provide infrastructure to educational institutions for increased enrollment, improve and upgrade health facilities and managing available health institutions, provide nutrition support, community infrastructure funds, income generating grants, micro assets and low-cost housing for reducing poverty of poorest of the poor, increase agricultural productivity and value chain, conservation of water for agriculture, industrial and municipal consumption, provide clean drinking water and safe disposal of sewage, improve connectivity between major cities and towns of the province, increase road connectivity and plant mass transit for Karachi city. Mr. Speaker, the government has remained overly cautious about growth size of government vis-a-vis service delivery. We believe in minimum government with maximum governance. Even though it is the responsibility of a government to create employment opportunities, however, such creation of opportunities should be carefully planned. During our tenure, we have only made appointment based on need, ensuring meritocracy. For next financial year, we have created 2,600 posts. Sir, our primary focus was on health, and I've told you the major initiatives that we are taking in the health sector. I will just mention a few initiatives that we are taking, sir. We are allocating 7.6 billion in the next financial year with an increase of 10% for 9 vertical programs to combat, control polio, TB, AIDS, the Lady Health Worker Program, hepatitis control, expanded program for immunization and others. We are dedicated to improve health cover and we are striving to maximize the facility at the primary level. On the other hand, we are trying to improve service delivery and enhance operational capabilities at the secondary and tertiary levels. Around 62 schemes likely to be completed up to June 2021. This will increase access to quality healthcare services network province-wide. Resource allocation is done as per the real needs and requirements of the people. This has improved both the process of budgeting and provision of health services. Sir, there are many initiatives taken. I have listed all of them in my policy statement, which is present in the budget station. Sir, one effort that I would like to mention here is that the Sindh government constructed the Sindh Infectious Disease Hospital and Research Center. Looking at the COVID problem, we immediately moved and within 3 months we constructed this hospital, and this hospital is the only hospital in the country providing services for infectious disease. It is the hospital where under one roof 3,049 patients have been treated, which is a record, and no other hospital, either public or private, can boast that is done. And this is the first choice hospital for all patients, and all the health provided here is done free of cost. All the treatment is done free of cost. Sir, I will, in addition to the investments given, the allocations given to the health department, we've given additional funds to the tune of 6.3 billion to Indus Hospital, to NIB, to Dr. Panjwani Center for Molecular Medicine and Drug Research, to SIUT, to Shahid Benazir Institute of Trauma, Karachi, the Surgical Health Department for establishment of 100-bedded hospital and maternity home at Eidgah, Karachi, Sindh Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Health Department was Sindh Forensic DNA Serology Lab, University of Karachi, to meet the requirements of modern investigation of various crimes and the identification of dead bodies in the result of disasters. Aman Healthcare Service for ambulance services, People's Medical College Hospital Nawab Shah, District Shahid Benazirabad, and Civil Hospital Khairpur for job offers. Building on our success and as a continuation of our policies, we have a detailed roadmap for expanding our health sector. For the next financial year, for current revenue side, we plan to unfold the following interventions. Funds to the tune of 24.72 billion have been allocated specifically to deal with the pandemic. 964 new posts will be created at different levels for health management. 18.32 billion has been proposed for purchase of drugs and medicines. Rupees 2 billion is being kept for purchase of PCR and PPE kits in context with COVID-19. Rupees 646 billion has been proposed for purchase of medical gas, oxygen keeping in view of the pandemic situation. Sir, in addition to above, 8.2 billion rupees has been allocated to PPHI, 7.1 billion rupees to SIUT, 4.5 billion rupees to Indus Indus Hospital, which includes 2.5 billion for current expenditure and 2 billion for the expansion of the Indus Hospital. Rupees 6.1 billion has been allocated to NICVT and 6.4 billion to SICVT. Rupees 4 billion has been allotted to Institute of Peer Pulka Jilani Gambat. Rupees 473 million has been allocated to Institute of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences, Hyderabad. Rupees 600 million for Jacobabad Institute of Medical Sciences. Rupees 2 billion has been allocated to Shaheed Mohtama Benazir Bhutto Trauma Center, Karachi. Rupees 500 million for NIBT. Rupees 1.2 billion for Child Life Foundation. Rupees 300 million has been allocated for Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Karachi. Sir, we are allocating rupees 300 million for 10 thalassemia centers at Padin, Jagabad, Shikarpur, Mithi, Shaheed Benazirabad, Thatta, Sitawal, Hyderabad, Karachi and Umarkot. Rupees 170 million has been proposed for 10 dialysis centers. So for the next financial year, from development side, we plan to unfold the following interventions. COVID response and other natural calamity programs in Sindh, co-financed with federal government with 50% share from the government of Sindh at an estimated cost of rupees 20.8 billion. Establishment of biosafety lab 3 at Sindh Infectious Disease Hospital. Provision of linear accelerator with integrated high-field MRI system at Dow University of Health Sciences, Karachi. Provision and installation of on-site oxygen generation, medical gas plants at tertiary care hospitals in Sindh. Sir, I will move on to medical education now. Besides health services, medical education is crucial for maintenance and accreditation of standards in health services. Therefore, the medical education has received a substantial increase in its budget to produce a better human resource for health and medical services. Following are some of the key budget benchmarks. The overall 45% increase of rupees 2.846 billion is proposed in medical education by enhancing its budget from rupees 6.2 billion to rupees 9.14 billion. In SNE, new total 691 posts are proposed with financial implications of rupees 509.79 million. Besides, rupees 75.314 billion are proposed to purchase of machinery and rupees 26.4 million are proposed for purchase of furniture and fixtures. 12 nursing colleges are proposed to be adopted on recurring site by transferring 302 posts and by creating 216 new posts with financial implication of rupees 466 million. Sir, I will move on to education. Education is the single most important factor in the development of a nation. The government of Sindh envisages providing quality education to all, enabling our children to realize their full potential. US President Franklin D. Roosevelt famously said, democracy cannot exceed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. Youth and our children are facing the future of a nation, actually the future of a nation. It is the single most important factor in the development of a nation. The government of Sindh envisages providing quality education to all, enabling our children to realize their full potential. We must take a good look at the curriculum being followed in the schools to ensure that they are free from outdated ideas and train our teachers so that they take a genuine interest in stimulating keenness and curiosity in our children from the outset, such that our future generations comprises of thinkers, innovators in every field of inquiry. Thus, the people's government has allocated the highest percentage resources towards education in 2021-22. It will see an increase of 13.5% over allocation of current financial year. Sir, for the next financial year, we propose to enhance budget for education to rupees 277.5 billion from the current 244.5 billion. Sir, in the current financial year, the ADP allocation for education sector was rupees 21.1 billion. It comprises of school education, college education, universities. In 2021-22, the government is increasing the ADP allocation for the education sector to rupees 26 billion. Sir, the major interventions for the next year I will list out. In the next financial year, the department has proposed 100 more shelterless schools for provision of buildings. Rupees 600 million has been earmarked for opening and operationalizing non-formal centers in the higher rate out of school children districts. Due to recent heavy urban floodings, huge losses of educational institutions have occurred in the province. Rupees 2.5 billion for primary schools and rupees 2 billion for secondary schools have been proposed for rehabilitation, repair, reconstruction in next year's ADP. So for college education, the budget is increased by 11.8% to rupees 22.8 billion from the current rupees 20.446 billion. For college education, an allocation of rupees 4 billion is proposed in the ADP for 43 ongoing and 64 new schemes. Sir, I have listed down as given by me. In the universities and boards, in the current financial year, the grant for public sector universities was rupees 11.07 billion. For the next financial year, the volume of grant has been increased by 20% to rupees 13.314 billion. This includes an amount of rupees 2 billion for registration enrollment for annual examination fees of class 9 to 12. An amount of rupees 1.2 billion has been allocated for scholarships to students securing A1 grade in SSC and HSC education boards of state. Sir, a grant of rupees 200 billion has been allocated for Thar Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, the ADT campus for Tharparkar. Initially, the college had launched Bachelor of Science in Computer Science program in 2019. From this year, civil engineering program will be offered with an initial intake of 50 students. This will enable locals to acquire education and research excellence in engineering and allied disciplines. Sir, I will talk about some of the pro-people and sustainable development measures. Sir, William Beveridge, a British economist, described the 5 economic giants: want, disease, ignorance, scholar, and idleness. With all humility, I would like to say that this budget in specific and policies of government are essentially focused on combating these 5 issues. Sir, I'll just list out the major initiatives in the sector. 10 billion is proposed for cash transfers to individuals affected by COVID-19 under SIN People Support Program through Social Protection Strategic Unit Social Welfare Department. Rupees 3 billion is allocated for soft loan program for small and medium enterprises. Loan size will range from rupees 5 million to a maximum of rupees 2 million. From rupees 0.5 million to rupees 2 million. An allocation of 3 billion is proposed under Poverty Alleviation Program for small farmers, community-based loans in rural areas. Loan size of rupees 25,000 using poverty reduction scorecard of ongoing poverty reduction program by utilizing services of SRSO, NRSP, Third Team through Social Protection Strategies Unit, Social Welfare Department. Rupees 2 billion is earmarked for low-cost housing through Benazir housing cell, catering needs for the people who either do not have their own houses or their houses are in dilapidated condition, posing risk to their life and property. Rupees 2 billion is earmarked for small business support funds in urban areas through Social Protection Strategic Unit, Social Welfare Department. Loan size will be maximum of rupees 0.2 million. Rupees 1 billion is kept for supporting technology-based startup incubators and accelerated through investment department. Rupees 2 billion is allocated for registration, enrollment and annual examination fee of class 9 to 12. Sir, government initiated poverty reduction program from 2 districts and has expanded it to 12 districts. Through this program, government has reached out to millions of women households. Success of Pakistan People's Party's poverty reduction program attracted European Union to join provincial government initiative through Sindh Union Council and Community Economic Strengthening Program in additional 8 districts. Under next generation reform, the poverty reduction strategy has been developed which focuses on community-driven local development, rural and urban service, up through cluster approach and enterprise development. This approach is being implemented in district Sajawal as pilot. Then I'll talk briefly about the Women Development Department. Government of Sindh has taken a number of steps towards economic, social, political and legal empowerment of women to realize the dream of Shaheed Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, who wish to see the women of this country actively and equally participating in all walks of life. For next financial year, an allocation for Women Development Department has been increased from rupees 348.581 million to rupees 571.95 million. Rupees 320 million has been earmarked under provisional ADP 2021-22, of which rupees 296 million are ongoing and rupees 24 million are for new schemes. Some of the important schemes, the establishment of Women Development Complex, Health and Display Center, Working Women Hospital in Karachi and Women Complaint Centers across Sindh. Sir, I'll talk a little about minorities. The Sindh government is fully committed towards safeguard the rights of minorities as enshrined in the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan under Article 25. We believe in equality. Our policies are not specific for any class, creed or gender. Despite the fact that benefits of a developed program are all inclusive, we have proposed 750 million grant in aid in current financial year. About 24,000 beneficiaries of minority community have been facilitated.
सिंध असम्बली का बजट इजलास जारी है, जबकि दूसरी जानिब कौमी असम्बली का इजलास भी जारी है। अपोजिशन लीडर शहबाज शरीफ इस वक्त इजहार ख्याल कर रहे हैं।
और जनाब स्पीकर,
ये ना करे प्लीज,
इनको चाहिए
रूल्स के खिलाफ वर्जी करे
कि वो
ना करे प्लीज।
माल को छोड़कर
साइड पे चले जाए,
माल को छोड़कर अमाल की तरफ
साइड पे चले जाए,
तवज्जो दें जनाब स्पीकर।
आप साइड पे
और
चले
मैं
जाएं,
यहाँ पर ये आपको
आप
आज
साइड पे चले जाएं।
बताना चाहता हूँ कि अल्लाह ताला के फजलो करम से हमारी हुकूमत ने अल्लाह ताला के फजलो करम से हमारी हुकूमत ने जनाब स्पीकर 2018 में अल्लाह ताला के फजलो करम से हमारी जो GDP ग्रोथ थी वो 5.8% पे जा पहुंची थी। और फिर उसके बाद इमरान खान नियाजी इस मुल्क के ऊपर मुसल्लत हुए तो पहली मर्तबा 5 सालों बाद GDP पहले साल चली गई 2.1% पर और फिर अगले साल कोविड आने से पहले जनाब स्पीकर इस तरह स्पीकर नहीं किया करते जिस तरह आप कर रहे हैं।
ना करे
ये आप
मैं देखो
पंजाबी में कहते हैं कि गोगलों से मट्टी उतार रहे हैं आप बाहर। क्या है जनाब स्पीकर, मैं कहना ये चाहता हूं कि अगले साल कोविड से पहले -0.5 GDP नीचे चली गई।
आप अपनी सीटों पे
1952 के बाद
अपनी सीटों पे जाएं, अपनी सीटों पे जाएं
जनाब स्पीकर,
अपनी सीटों पे
ये
जाएं,
तारीख की
अपनी सीटों पे
सबसे
जाएं।
कम GDP थी 1952 के बाद।
मैडम अपनी
और
सीट
उसके
पे
बाद इन 3 सालों में जनाब स्पीकर, इन 3 सालों में 2 करोड़ अफराद PTI के दौर में खते इफलास से नीचे जा चुके हैं और वो खते इफलास की गहरी खड्ड में बेचारे गिर चुके हैं। जनाब स्पीकर, आज आम आदमी 1 वक्त की रोटी को तरस गया है।
इनको साइड पे करो।
और मैं बिला खौफे तर्दीद कह सकता हूं कि सरकारी मुलाजमीन की बड़ी तादाद खते इफलास से नीचे जा चुकी है। जनाब स्पीकर, ये
आप
5 जनाब स्पीकर, मुझे बताइए कि 1 करोड़ नौकरियों का वादा किसने किया था? इमरान खान न्याजी ने। पूरी कौम इस बजट में सवाल करे ये पुकार पुकार के कि कहां है वो 1 करोड़ इमरान खान। पूरी कौम
भाई जो मोबाइल कर रहे वीडियो कर रहे
पुकार के पूछ रही है जनाब स्पीकर कि कहां है वो
हेलो
50 लाख
ये मोबाइल ले ले इनसे, मोबाइल ले ले,
पूरी
जो मोबाइल कर
कौम
रहे हैं मोबाइल ले ले इनसे।
जनाब
मोबाइल ले
स्पीकर,
ले,
सरापा एहतजाज है कि कहां है वो फूड सिक्योरिटी का वादा।
मोबाइल ले ले,
पूरी
जो मोबाइल
कौम-
इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं सबसे मोबाइल ले ले,
जनाब स्पीकर, पूरी कौम पूछती है
सबसे
कि
मोबाइल ले
किधर
ले,
है वो
मोबाइल ले ले
300
सबसे।
अरब डॉलर
रफीउल्लाह
जो वापस लाने थे। कहां है वो 300 अरब डॉलर? कहां गया वो दावा? जनाब स्पीकर, कहां गया वो दावा कि हम 3 महीने में करप्शन खत्म कर
आप
देंगे?
मोबाइल ले ले इनसे।
हकीकत
रफीउल्लाह
हाल
साइड
ये
पे
है
हो जाए।
जनाब स्पीकर कि करप्शन तो इन्होंने क्या खत्म करनी थी, आज तारीख की बदतरीन करप्शन
पीछे आ जाए, पीछे आ जाए, आप लोग पीछे आ जाए,
जारी है।
पीछे आ जाए, पीछे आ जाए,
तो
पीछे आ जाए, पीछे जाए, पीछे 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 जाए सर।
माशरे का हर शोबा आज करप्शन में घिरा हुआ है। कोई पोस्टिंग ट्रांसफर जनाब स्पीकर करप्शन के बगैर होती नहीं। और
अपने अपनी सीटों पे बैठे प्लीज, अपने अपनी सीटों पे बैठे,
लोगों की जेबें
अपने अपनी सीटों पे बैठे प्लीज।
गुर्बत से कट चुकी है। करप्शन ने उसको मजीद खराब कर दिया है।
अपने अपनी
जेबें
सीटों पे
खाली
बैठे।
हो गई हैं। तो मैं बता ये रहा था कि 1 करोड़ नौकरियां तो दूर की बात है,
अपने अपनी सीटों पे बैठे, अपने अपनी सीटों पे बैठे।
50 लाख लोग बेरोजगार कर दिए हैं और वो
अपने अपनी सीटों पे बैठे,
बड़ी
अपनी
लंबी
अपनी सीटों पे बैठे।
वो गार में धकेले जा चुके हैं। जनाब स्पीकर, मैं आपको क्या बताऊं, दिल खून के आंसू रोता। स्पीकर साहब मुझे देखें, स्पीकर साहब इधर देखें, इधर इधर देखें, इधर मेरी तरफ देखें, मेरी तरफ देखें। जनाब स्पीकर, आज
साइड पे हो जाए, साइड।
जनाब स्पीकर, तारीख की सबसे बुलंद सतह पर आज बेरोजगारी 15% पर पहुंच गई है, 15% पर। और महंगाई डबल डिजिट है, डबल
आप
डिजिट
पीछे मत,
16% पर महंगाई जहां
इसको
पहुंची
निकाल
है।
देते हैं। आपको शर्म
स्पीकर
आनी
साहब
चाहिए,
मेरी तरफ देखें।
आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए।
स्पीकर इधर देखें, इधर। जनाब स्पीकर, इसी तरीके से मैं आपको
आप साइड पे हो जाए, साइड पे हो
चाहता
जाए।
हूं कि मजबूरी तौर पर अशियाए जरूरत की कीमतों में 30% इन 3 सालों में इजाफा हो चुका है। और
मैं इस तरह करता हूँ,
बिजली
ये
की
इजलास
कीमत
सस्पेंड
में
करता हूँ कुछ के लिए।
60% इजाफा हो चुका है।
मैं
गर्दशी कर्जे 1100 से लेके
मैं इस इजलास को
2800 तक
सस्पेंड करता हूँ
पहुंच चुके हैं। गर्दशी कर्जे
20 मिनट्स के लिए इजलास को
इन
सस्पेंड
3
करता हूँ।
सालों में।
कौमी असम्बली का इजलास जारी था। अपोजिशन लीडर शहबाज शरीफ इजहार ख्याल कर रहे थे। उनका कहना था कि अल्लाह ताला के करम फजल से हमारी हुकूमत ने 2018 में GDP ग्रोथ 5.8% जा चुकी है। एक बार फिर से आपको ले चलेंगे सिंध असम्बली, जहां बजट इजलास जारी है।
Of the point in the entire world, there is lots of interest in it throughout the world. We are currently producing 660 megawatts of electricity. To date, the Sindh Agro Coal Mining Company has produced more than 7,000 1,000 gigawatt hours of electricity and contributed it to the national grid, enlightening the whole of Pakistan. In addition to that, another 1,320 megawatts are under construction in Block 4 and Block 2, and in addition in Block 4 and Block 2, and in addition in Block 1 being done by Sindh Sino-Source Resource Center, 1,320 megawatt power plant is under construction, and we hope to have these completed in the year 2022. So the Sindh Transmission and Dispatch Company is a success story. This company is providing power from Nooriabad to Karachi, and it has been worked successfully. It is making profits, and it has given back some of its equity which the government of Sindh has given. It's paying back its loans. So on the alternate energy side, we have been able to construct through the private sector around 1,300 megawatts of wind power projects in this province. The Energy Department and the government of Sindh have facilitated them in this. In the village electrification program, we have electrified 1,789 villages. In the oil and gas sector, we, through the provincial government, have supported Sri Southern Gas Company in providing electricity to 855 villages. In the alternate energy, various milestones have been achieved. 225 primary health facilities are electrified through 352 solar PV systems in 13 districts of Sindh. 25 wind power projects equaling 1,300 megawatts are injecting energy. Sir, I would like to talk about the Sindh Nooriabad power project, which in recent days has become a victim, unfortunately, of negative propaganda. Sindh government took this initiative and set up the Sindh Nooriabad Power Company in public-private partnership mode to generate 100 megawatt power. This natural gas-based power plant achieved commercial operation in January 2018 and is, alhamdulillah, supplying uninterrupted power to K Electric since then. The city of Karachi is the sole beneficiary of this uninterrupted power supply from Sindh Nooriabad Power Company Limited. Sir, I can proudly say that this power plant is a self-sustaining company and met all power demands of KE. Nooriabad is highest on the merit order of K Electric. It rates even higher than K Electric's own plant, and because of its low tariff, the Nooriabad power plant is dispatched before K Electric's own power plant. So till end of May 2021, the power plant has dispatched 2,604 gigawatt hours electricity to the city of Karachi. The total revenue that this project has earned till now is 28.4 billion rupees. The company has paid 4 billion in taxes, has so far repaid its due loan and made repayments of rupees 1.57 billion against principal amount and rupees 3.24 billion under markup. In addition, profits accrued by the company until June 2020 were rupees 1.32 billion. So the House may recall the recent total blackout in the country which affected Karachi too. SNPCL was among the first power company which came back online in 30 minutes and provided necessary support to K Electric for restoration power in the city. So this is a success story. Despite of whatever negative propaganda is said, despite of whatever coercive measures have been taken at the behest of this failed federal government who has not been able to add anything in this country, this power plant, alhamdulillah, has been running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year and providing electricity to the city of Karachi. It has not been closed for a single day. Sir, I'll briefly talk about the road infrastructure and transport sector. Government of Sindh has assigned top priority to road sector funding so as to achieve enhanced level of connectivity with particular emphasis on strategic access roads that will improve the socio-economic condition of the people and facilitate poverty alleviation. The government is also injecting more money to improve existing infrastructure. During the current financial year, we had planned to add 798 kilometers to our road network. I am pleased to inform this August House that despite the pandemic, 90% of the target of the current financial year will be achieved in June 2021. For the next financial year, we have increased ADP allocation for the road sector, for road and communication sector to rupees 38.2 billion from rupees 19.1 billion. An allocation of 3.86 billion has also been kept for maintenance of road infrastructure. Some major roads constructed during this year and are planned for next year have been listed in the policy document. Sir, our government believes in engaging private sector to assist government undertake projects of national importance. Our initiatives have been successful and have yielded favorable results. Through public-private partnerships, we have initiated 7 PPP projects, out of which 3 projects, namely Hyderabad-Mirpur Khas dual carriageway, Sar Khan Sirf Mulaqatiyar Bridge, and the Karachi-Thatta dual carriageway, have been successfully completed. The government of Sindh, with assistance of Asian Development Bank, has conceived the Sindh Provincial Road Improvement Project for construction of an improvement of 328 kilometers of following inter-district roads, and I'll just quickly name them: 67 kilometers from Tando Muhammad Khan to Badin, 64 kilometers from Khyber to Sangad, 63 kilometers from Sangad to Mirpur Khas, 54 kilometers from Digadi to Rokot, 44 kilometers from Thul to Kandkot, 36 kilometers from Srirampur to Ratodero. Sir, we had made a saving of 4.09 billion in this scheme, and additional 3 roads have been constructed from it. Sir, I will move on to the local government sector. The founding father of Pakistan People's Party is credited with presenting the Pakistan's Constitution of 1973. Our leaders have remained cognizant of the fact that societies can only progress if they are provided with a robust local government system. The idea was clearly spelled out in the Constitution, and it is our responsibility to ensure service delivery through local councils. During current financial year, rupees 78 billion are earmarked, and in the next financial year, rupees 82 billion have been earmarked for the local government department. Sir, I will quickly talk about projects of Karachi. Sir, currently, in our annual development program, foreign register program, the public-private partnership programs, a total of 1,072 projects are under construction in Karachi. So the total amount of these projects in Karachi is rupees 991.73 billion. Almost 1 trillion rupees projects are being done by the provincial government alone in Karachi. For the next financial year, the total allocation for development projects in Karachi is 109.36 billion. So there are 16 PPP mode projects with a total cost of 288.96 billion in the road infrastructure, water, information technology and cell sector. Sir, we have, along with the development agencies, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, started a number of projects. The project for competitive and livable city of Karachi, the Karachi Neighborhood Improvement Project, sir, the Karachi Transport Project Bay, the Red Line is being constructed at the ADP, the Yellow Line project is being constructed with the help of the World Bank loan. The Link Road project to Kulangi had mentioned, expressway from Maripur to Y Junction, the interchange at ICI Bridge, all these projects are being undertaken, and in the current financial year, we completed out of budget projects of at least 2 billion rupees in Karachi alone. Sir, I will just move on to the relief measures. Sir, I'll go to the pay and allowances of government employees, something that all the employees here are waiting for. So the output of government is directly related to the performance of every individual employee. All the employees of government have said have my gratitude. For next financial year, we are proposing an increase of 20% in the basic salary of all employees. And sir, I guarantee you, the remuneration of our employees in Sindh is more than any other place in Pakistan. This is a guarantee that I give you. Sir, in addition to above, for the welfare of labor class and in line with increase in pay of government employees, the minimum wage rate is also being increased to rupees 25,000 per month. And sir, in order for the government employees to get this 25,000, we are giving a fixed rate personal allowance from grade 1 to 5 so that the minimum salary of the government employees is also raised to rupees 25,000. Sir, there are certain fiscal measures which are listed in our policy statement, and I will not talk about them here. They are already listed in the policy statement, which are part of the budget document that I am submitting to the House. I will move to the concluding remarks of my speech today. Sir, I would like to thank you for granting me the honor to present the Sindh Budget 2021-22. I would like to thank the opposition that, as always, they have shown that they are not sincere to the people of this province. Instead of listening to the budget speech, they created that कंटेनर की सियासत असेंबली में भी जारी रख दी है, वो आज इन सब ने दिखा दिया है। और ये कोई सरप्राइजिंग बात नहीं। अच्छा, ये समझे थे कि हमें पता नहीं, परेशान हो गए। भाई, आपकी कैपेबिलिटी, आपकी कॉम्पिटेंस मैं जानता हूँ, आपको भी जानता हूँ, आपके लीडरान को भी जानता हूँ, इनकी कॉम्पिटेंस जीरो है, जो इस मुल्क को इस मुश्किल में धकेल रहे हैं। और इंशाअल्लाह ताला पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी आके इस मुल्क को इस अजाब से निकाले। ये जो अजाब आ गया इस असेंबली में, इस अजाब से आके बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी निकाले। Sir, I would like to thank the people of Sindh who have provided us with the opportunity to serve them. The budget is a reflection of their aspirations and a commitment on our part that we will make every effort to uphold the trust that the people of Sindh have reposed in us. So today, we have managed to improve our overall service delivery mechanism. Our healthcare system is stronger and serving a highest number of people. The system of education has improved and adopted to new mode of imparting knowledge with changing times. The networks of roads, canals and waterworks are a testament to our commitment to improve infrastructure. We have taken key steps for the most vulnerable and marginalized section of the population so that they have a strong safety net to see through the bad times. Mr. Speaker, the fundamental of our character as people have not changed, still determined, still generous. That is what got us through the last year. It is what this which will guide us through the next decade and beyond. This time last year we set out to deliver on promises we made to the people of Sindh. But the most important promise was implicit and in truth is made by every government irrespective of the politics. And this is to do what must be done when the danger is imminent and when no one else can see. Today we can set out plan to protect the jobs and livelihoods of people. But promises that underpin that plan remain unchanged from those we pledged ourselves to 12 long months ago. To unite and lead, to improve our education system, to keep our streets safe, to keep our health services strong, to support the most vulnerable, to reform and improve public services, to spread prosperity through development, and yes, to be honest and fair in all that we do. An important moment is upon us, a moment of challenge and of change, of difficulties, yes, but of possibilities too. This is a budget that meets that moment. It takes into account our strengths and challenges. It doesn't attempt to whitewash our inadequacies. it sets out on the path to a future. The opportunities are maximized through an examination of risk involved. Sir, before I end, I would once again like to thank the honorable members of the House. Sir, I would like to thank you for allowing me to present this budget. I thank the staff of the Assembly who have cooperated and who have worked hard to make this day possible. The Finance Department who worked day and night during this pandemic and been able to come up with this budget document and the necessary papers. The Planning and Development Department who again during difficult times, during the pandemic, worked full time to make the annual development plan. We are grateful to our revenue authorities, the Excise and Taxation Department, Special Revenue Board, the Board of Revenue, who have worked hard during the last few months to come out with this budget. And inshallah ta'ala, we will come up to the aspirations of the people of this province. Sir, I pray that Almighty Allah guides us and gives us the strength to achieve our targets for the prosperity of Sindh and the prosperity of Pakistan. Pakistan, Zindabad.
Well, budget speech of the Honorable Chief Minister is over. I am very grateful.
सर शुक्र है सब हंस रहे ये शोर बजा के लिए ड्रामा करके अब सब हंस रहे सबकी चेहरों पे हंसी है नजर आ रहे चीज में बहुत ज्यादा है सब हंस रहे बहुत शुक्रिया आप लोगों का
Anyway, तो आज उनकी परफॉर्मेंस वही रही है जो हमेशा रहती है, बट इस दफ़ा इनकी तरीक़ेकार डिफरेंट था और इज़हार भाई ने शायद इनको समझाया था कि किस तरह आप लोग चाहें